Alright, welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to show you how to fix a wobbly wheel. So yeah, my back wheel has been a little bit wobbly just because I've probably been casing out the jumps a bit. And then a good way to check is check your front one. So my front one has no play at all, but my back one does. Also, make sure you check that your quick release is on there tight. Sometimes when it's loose, it could feel like you have the same problem, but if you tighten it up, it could fix it. But in my case, I gotta take the wheel apart and show you how it's done. Yeah, so first thing to do is take off the wheel. So yeah, I kind of just unhook the chain here to make things a little bit easier. You can also switch to your lowest gear, and then here I'm just taking apart the brake, just hooking the V brake there, so my wheel comes out a little bit easier. And that's it for the first part. Alright, so some tools you're going to need is a shifter, some wrenches, a chain whip tool, and a cassette remover tool. And here, taking the wheel off, so the first thing we're going to do is just take that skewer out. It's pretty easy, you just kind of unscrew it and that's it. Alright, yeah, so just unscrew it off, and then just make sure you put the cap back on so you don't lose it, and a spring in there as well. And that's it. And then next you're going to grab your cassette removal tool, put it on that hole there, and then you're going to put your chain whip, set it up the opposite way that you want it to turn so it holds it tight, and then you're going to get your shifter and then just yeah, unwind it anti-clockwise and it'll come off. Take it off and then take the whole cassette off. Alright, this is what it looks like when it comes off. At this point, if you don't want to open up and take a look at your bearings, what you can do is just tighten these bolts. Sometimes there's a little rubber cap you can take off, but if you tighten the inside nuts and just make sure everything's nice and snug, the axle doesn't move, sometimes that will fix the wobble. But what I like to do is take a look at the bearings, make sure it's not pitted or anything, so we're going to do that. Yeah, so basically what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take off the bolts and spacers off one side, and how this works is basically the axle is just one bolt going through and it's threaded, so you're going to hold one side and then unscrew the other. Pretty straightforward, just anti-clockwise again, should be pretty simple, and then just keep track of where your spacer goes. And yeah, this is what it looks like. Once you've done it, you can see I've taken all the spacers and bolts off, and then when you pull it out, just be careful of your bearings. Some bearings could fall out. So yeah, just make sure you're in an area where you can catch the bearings. And to take the bearings out, you can either use a magnetic screwdriver and try and take them out, or you can push them all the way through. So yeah, I kind of pushed mine all the way through here just because I had so much grease in there. It was a little bit of a pain. Maybe, yeah, if next time I do it, I'd use a magnet, like a stronger magnet, just to pull them all out. But yeah, I got them out at the end. And then yeah, when you're pushing them through, make sure you have something to catch it again. I had this little tin. But yeah, make sure you count your bearings. And then here's just the other side. There's a little dust seal in there. You can just take that off and then get all the bearings out. Alright, so yeah, here's the bearings all out. There's for this hub there was 9 on each side. Alright, what you want to do now is give your hubs a good clean inside there. Get rid of all the grease so you can kind of inspect them and make sure they're not pitted. These hubs were pretty new, I think, from when I serviced them, so you can see, yeah, they're in pretty good condition. But yeah, if they're pitted, there might be some little black dots or black dents in there, but mine was good. I had this little race on the top that I couldn't get off, so I kind of just tried to do my best to clean it with that race on. But yeah, you can see that both in pretty good condition. And then check your washer where the ball bearing goes on to see if those are pitted too, and these are pretty good. Yeah, you can also check your ball bearings, make sure they're nice and round as well. If they're kind of misshapen, you might need to replace them. And here Just using some fresh grease. We're gonna put some fresh grease in and put the ball bearings back in. Yeah, so now that we've kind of checked everything, we know the ball bearings are good and those cups are good. Yeah, I think basically it was just kind of the problem was a loose axle. So we'll go ahead and put everything back together and see how it goes. So yeah, just putting the ball bearings back in, and then yeah, I just load it up with grease. Make sure all the ball bearings are covered, and then I just put on the little cap here. Yeah, make sure it's down all the way. And then here's, yeah, do the same with the other side, load it up with grease and put the ball bearings in. Yeah, so after that, what you want to do is just put everything back together again. And so yeah, this is kind of the tricky part. So what you want to do is screw it on tight enough so that there's no play with the axle. Kind of shake the axle to see if it there's any play. But you want it loose enough so it spins pretty freely and spins smoothly. So yeah, it might take you a few tries to get it perfect. But yeah, make sure you kind of really test it here, because after this you're going to put back on the cassette and you don't want to have to redo it. So yeah, just make sure you tighten it, shake the axle, make sure it's nice and snug, there's no play, and then yeah, you should be good. Yeah, you can see I put on the cassette back on using cassette removal tool. You just tighten it back up, and then here I'm just putting the skewer back on. Just make sure your springs are facing the right way. The little side should go towards the wheel, and then here, yeah, just putting the wheel back in. Pretty straightforward, not too much to it here. So yeah, put your chain back on, connect your brake, put the bike on the ground, and give it a good shake again. Make sure it's not moving. So yeah, mine was pretty good, but if it shakes again, you're just gonna have to repeat the process. But at least you know it's not the bearings now. All right, that's the video. I hope it helped a few people. Yeah, hope you liked it. I got it done, but the sun went down. But here's the skyline. So yeah, pretty nice Melbourne skyline. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Cheers.